Have you ever noticed how a good tagline immediately triggers your brain? Like, just do it. Nike, the ultimate driving machine. BMW. In today's episode, I'm going to share a tagline that I've used my entire life to motivate myself, my kids, and every teammate I've ever worked with. Warning, this is a catchy phrase. I have a 3-word tagline that has served me in a variety of ways. First and foremost, it is my most fundamental guiding philosophy. But I've also used it with family, friends, clients, and teammates as a directive, a mantra, a unifying mindset, and a team rallying cry. I've also used it many times as a theme for my speaking engagements. Over the years, it has been so well received that I even created a website totally dedicated to extending its reach around the world. And I have thousands of success stories and testimonials from people that have made it an everyday part of their life. In fact, if I had to choose one phrase that has served me the most in my lifetime and has had the biggest impact, it would be this one: play full out. Nothing will set you apart faster than being a person that plays full out. That's because most people in the world are doing just enough to get by. They do just enough in their marriage and they wonder why the spark is gone. They do just enough with their kids and wonder why they show no interest in their advice or opinions. At work, they do just enough not to get fired. But you know what I've learned? People that do just enough not to get fired typically get paid just enough not to quit. No one has ever made a fortune or built a successful career or had a great marriage by doing just enough. It's the people that do that little something extra that enjoy the best that life has to offer. As my kids were growing up, I reminded them of this approach to life in every way I could. I wrote it on their sports equipment so it would be a reminder during practice as well as the games. I wrote it on their bathroom mirror so they would start each day off with this philosophy in their mind. And I wrote it on their school notebook so they would see it many times throughout the day. And it proved to be very impactful, not solely in their earthly achievements, but more importantly, in their character and behavior. In sports, it proved to be especially impactful because, like life, there are so many variables in sports that are not in your control. You could have your best day ever, but it just so happened that your competitor that day had their best day ever as well, and they won. Should that diminish your performance? Absolutely not. Should you be less proud of your accomplishment? Of course not. You see, winners compare themselves to themselves. Am I getting better? Whereas losers compare themselves to others. And since there's always someone that's doing something a little better, they never feel good about themselves, and the pressure mounts. But if the bellwether of success is answered by the question, did I play full out? It takes all the pressure off winning or being perfect. We're not in control of everything around us, but we are completely in control of our preparation, our effort, and our response to whatever life throws at us. Ultimately, life is about progress, not perfection. Prior to each of my kids' games, before they ever step foot onto the court or the playing field, I would tell them every time, the compliment I most want to hear about you from other parents after the game is, I love watching your kid play ball. It's so clear he or she loves the game and loves to compete and loves being part of the team. See, every one of those things are totally in my kids' control, and a focus on playing full out brings it about. Like any phrase, play full out can mean different things to different people. To many people, it means things like work harder, put in longer hours, or do more than you've been doing. I think those are great translations for the people that are doing just enough to get by. For them, work harder is pretty good advice. But just so we're clear, my version of play full out is not about working harder. My version is for the go-getters of the world. And it's been my experience that the go-getters are already working about as hard as they can. I don't know of a single successful and driven person that complains they have too much time on their hands, that they don't have enough to-dos to fill their 24 hours. No, most everyone I know is running hard and fast. So this philosophy, play full out, is not about adding more tasks to your to-do list or working harder on the ones that are already on it. It's about putting more presence and substance into what you're already doing. For example, consider the security guard at Disneyland that played full out and for more than 30 years carried an autograph book with him at all times so he could approach every little girl who came to Magic Kingdom dressed as a princess and say, "Excuse me, princess, may I have your autograph?" Can you imagine the looks of excitement on those little girls' faces? He admitted that one of his favorite things about doing this was overhearing what they would say to their parents as they walked away. Things like, "Mom, he really thinks I'm a princess." Now let me ask you, does this gesture make the security guard's job any harder? No, he's just adding a little more presence and substance to what he's already doing. Or consider the nurse that played full out and figured out a way to pump the auditory sounds from inside a mother's womb into the ears of the newborn babies in the hospital nursery. This one little change made the babies noticeably more comfortable and content, which helped them sleep better. It just makes sense, doesn't it? I mean, coming into this world is a traumatic event for a baby. The brightness of all the lights is discomforting. The air is cold on their skin. But for these babies, Hearing a mother's heartbeat and all the other familiar sounds is comforting. Granted, this Playful Out approach did require a little extra effort on the front end, work that was over and above the nurse's normal duties. But it was something that she only had to do one time. After that, thousands of babies benefited day after day without any extra effort from anyone. Or consider the parents who turned their son's wheelchair into the world's best Halloween costume. Is that playing full out or what? Wouldn't you love to be a part of this project? To see that little boy going down the street, head high, all proud and getting all that attention from his friends because of his cool costume? I tip my hat to these parents. They really know how to play full out. Or consider how a couple of plant workers that are playing full out can change the entire feel of an industrial area by painting some of the storage tanks like this. Are you kidding me? Minions? Is that hilarious or what? Can you see how this one little act would have a profound impact on the culture of this plant? When you see something like this, you immediately think to yourself, I bet this is a fun place to work. It not only communicates that it's okay to be upbeat and positive while you're working here, it kind of implies that it's expected. And by the way, this didn't require a ton of extra work. I mean, they had to paint the tanks anyway. It just required a little more substance and presence into the same effort. As these pictures show, a quality life is all about relationships and experiences. That's what makes the Playful Out philosophy so powerful. It gets people engaged in the act of really living. Most people are just going through the motions of life. So when someone plays full out, it's captivating. It's also very uplifting and memorable. Can you see how playing full out with your family will change your daily routine and the quality of the memories you'll create? Can you see how that little extra presence and effort at work will improve your interactions with your coworkers and your relationships with your clients? Once you commit to making Playful Out your primary guiding philosophy, there's no stopping you. To help the world adopt this powerful philosophy and instill the habit of playing full out, I created a website called playfulloutonline.com. Anyone can participate, and I have Playful Out wristbands in motion right now all over the world. This project is not a moneymaker for me. In fact, I don't even cover the costs associated with it. My goal is simply to spread positive energy in this amazing, but sometimes crazy, messed up world. That's why I offer the wristbands for free at all my speaking events and to all my corporate clients. It has proven to be a very popular component of my employee engagement process, especially in regards to team building and cultural development. In the end, I just want to make a difference. It's my hope that when I reach my last day on this earth, I have 1 million Playful Out wristbands in play around the world, spreading positive energy through recognition and inspiring people to play full out in all aspects of their lives. If you want to learn more or be included in the fun, go to playfulloutonline.com. Of all the things I share in this Become Greater series of shows, if I had to pick one topic that I hope you'll embrace and apply the most, it's this one, play full out. It's a simple philosophy that's easy to apply, and it will impact every aspect of your life. Your marriage, your kids, your career, and your happiness will all be enhanced. Find ways to remind yourself throughout the day to consider your actions and ask yourself, am I playing full out right now? What else can I do to make this moment more impactful, useful, playful, memorable, or enjoyable? You'll be amazed at the ideas you start coming up with, and in the process, you'll help yourself and everyone around you become greater. Hey, if you liked that video, I'd love to be a part of what you're doing. I could speak at your next conference, do some team building workshops, or help you create an engaged workforce. Just click the link below to get started.